All right, welcome back, yogis. My name's Alex. Today's class will be good for anybody, but it's really designed specifically to help out runners. There's a lot of different ways we can approach healing a runner's body or helping to prepare it to use good technique, especially on longer runs. And today the things we'll be thinking about are internal rotation of the thighs, turning the inner thighs back, hip extension, reaching the leg back behind you and stretching out some of the hip flexors to the front side of the body. And then we'll think a little bit about chest opening, pec stretching, and front side deltoid stretching. For being in this position, we're going to open up some of those chronically tense muscles. Let's begin standing with your feet together, big toes touching. Turn your palms to face forward, widen out your chest, relax your shoulders and close your eyes. If you're really tight in the shoulders and the chest, instead of palms forward, you might just go thumbs forward for the time being. Taking a few moments to get grounded, enjoy a long breath in. Out of your mouth. Again, breathe in. Let it go. One more time. Breathe in. Out of your mouth. Breathe in and out through your nose for the rest of our time together. Open your eyes. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. Palms touch. You might look up. Hands to your heart. Exhale. Again, inhale, reach out and up. Observe your shoulder blades as the upper arm bones move. Hands to your heart, exhale. Once more, inhale, reach up. Hands to your heart, exhale. Good. Interlace your fingers. Inhale, press your palms forward. Tighten your triceps, your outer arms, and squeeze them towards the midline of your body comfortably. Then press your palms forward so you can move your shoulder blades apart. When your shoulder blades move apart, try not to collapse your mid-body, stand tall, and keep the sides of your neck free, the top of your collarbones wide. 3, 2. Inhale, reach your arms straight out to the sides, palms face forward, thumbs up, only turning your hands and your head. Exhale, turn your palms to the right, look to the right, your left fingers are forward, your right fingers are back. Inhale, center, look forward. To the left, exhale. If you're sore, bend the right elbow a little. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. To the left. Inhale. To the right. Inhale. To the left. Inhale, center. Hands to your heart, exhale. Interlace your fingers, the opposite pinky dominant. Breathe in and press the palms forward. Squeeze your triceps in towards each other. Push forward with your hands and widen your shoulder blades towards your outer armpits. Lift the back of your skull away from your upper back. 3, 2. Big breath. Exhale, reach the arms straight out to the sides. This time we're going to rotate the arm bones and play with the wrists simultaneously. Inhale, turn your thumbs up and back. Press the heels of your hands out, fingers point down. Exhale, turn your thumbs up, forward, down, and slightly back. Flex your fingers in towards your body, wrist flexion. Inhale, turn your thumbs forward, up and back. Press the heels of your hands out. Exhale, turn your thumbs up, forward, and down. Palms face you. One more time. Inhale, external rotation of the shoulder, wrist extension. Exhale, internal rotation of the shoulder, wrist flexion. Inhale, palms up, reach up. Give yourself a bear hug, right arm under, wrap your elbows. Use your hands and gently grab the outer edges of your shoulder blades. Now you're not really pulling on the shoulder blades themselves, you're just lightly putting pressure onto the skin around the outer shoulder blades. Even still, widen the shoulder blades, lengthen the back of your neck, and gently do some curious circles with your neck. So maybe some figure eights, or maybe chin to collarbone, like a blackjack table shape. One more breath. Bring your head back to center. Notice which arm's on top. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bear hug the opposite arm on top. Grab the outer edges of the shoulder blades in that region and just pull the skin tense. Not so much where you're actually pulling on the muscles, but you're just creating a little tension in your shirt, a little tension in the skin. Widen the shoulder blades, comfort and lengthen the sides of your neck, and lift the back of your skull away from your shoulder blades. And then gently play with neck rotation. Maybe side to side. Maybe figure eights. Curious and caring with your decision making. Explore what you feel without being forceful of it. Bring your head back to center. Inhale, reach the arms up. Your right arm, you can even use your left hand to help. Turn your tricep a little forward so you feel your shoulder blade move away from the spine and your inner arm peel back. Bend the right elbow and grab it with your left hand. Press down the corners of your feet, especially the center of the heel and the hammer by the big toe side of the ball of the foot. Tighten your thigh muscles and your butt muscles a little and zip up your lower abs. 3. Stand tall. 2. One more. Inhale, reach up. Use the right hand to help. Turn your left tricep forward so it feels like your outer armpit turns forward. Bend the left elbow and grab it with your right hand. Strong abs, stand tall, breathe. Last breath. Careful of front side shoulder injuries. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Bend your elbows and bring your hands towards the side of your body. So your hands are between your hip bones and your rib cage. Now, if this is too much, no worries. Just grab opposite elbows instead. So we either have this interlaced fingers, knuckles pointing forward grip, or opposite elbow grip. Carefully reach your elbows back and gently hug your elbows in, shoulder blades close as well. Notice your posture. If your butt wants to stick out and your ribs want to puff up, instead, engage the lower body. Lift lower abs. Support a naturally shaped spine. If you feel safe here, gently tilt right ear towards right shoulder. Reach left elbow towards the wall behind you. Carefully bring your head back to center. Switch sides with your fists so your hands are on the left side of the body. Knuckles point forward to the best of your ability, so your elbows point back instead of elbows point up. Reach the elbows back actively and hug the elbows towards each other, shoulder blades close. So if your elbows start to lift up, your shoulder heads are going to try to pivot forward, and it's probably going to feel way more congested, maybe even pinched in the front of the shoulders. So you want to feel that you're lifting the shoulder heads up, back, and then slightly down. And then again, if you're feeling that's appropriate, not being forceful, curious and caring, tilt left ear towards left shoulder. Three, two. Bring your head back to center, arms behind you. Inhale, reach the arms up, careful. Forward fold, exhale, bend your knees and touch the floor. Separate your feet by 2 fists, hip width. Ragdoll, bend your knees enough that your stomach is on your legs. Grab opposite elbows like a frame and let your head dangle into that frame. Now, if you're feeling really stiff or your lower back's tender, just do what I'm doing. Put your elbows on your thighs, forearms higher than knees. Push a little with your hands and take your chest forward. And slowly, incrementally, press down the balls of the feet and possibly lift the hips higher. Maintain the length of your spine. 3, 2, last breath. Fingers to the floor, exhale. Low lunge prep. Step your left leg back, place the left knee to the floor, point your toes, fingers still on the floor. So make sure that your front foot is flat, your left knee is further back than the hip socket, and your right shin is either straight up and down or slightly angled forward, just slight. Press down the top of the back foot. Reach your inner left thigh towards the wall behind you. Press down the inner edge of the ball of your front foot and move your right ribs forward. So as your inner left thigh reaches back, your right ribs reach forward. Tighten your left butt muscles and your abs. 3. Chest moving forward more than sagging down. 2. 1 more. Half splits. Shift your hips back so your left thigh bone is straight up and down. Use your left hand and help the front leg a little forward so the ball of the foot is off the floor. Fingers right below your shoulders, arms straight up and down. Bent right knee at least a little. Inhale, chest up and forward. Cool. So you can experiment with pointing the ball of the foot a little bit, which is going to make your calf muscles engage, or you can upward flex your toes, a dorsiflexion of your toes up towards your shin, which is going to make the calf lengthen. Be sensitive to how your knee responds, and your priority is a long spine and a foot that doesn't curve like a hockey stick. So you want to keep your inner ankle long, regardless of the type of flexion you're putting in the foot. 3, or in the ankle. 2, High lunge prep, tuck your back foot, lift the knee and shift forward. So your back knee is off the floor, your front leg's shin is straight up and down. Plant your left hand, right hand on your thigh, turn your chest to the right. Push with both hands to keep your chest tall. Reach your inner left thigh back and slightly up. Press down the inner edge of the ball of your front foot so you're not peeling to the pinky toe. And if you can't help but peel to the pinky toe, just take the foot wider to the right. And tighten your left butt muscles at the bottom portion of your glutes and zip up your abs for 3, 2, big breath. Fingers to the floor, exhale. Step forward to the front of the mat. Hands on your shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Straighten your arms, flatten your back. Bent knees can be helpful. Forward fold, exhale. Definitely bent knees, touch the floor. Right leg back, low lunge prep. Fingers are staying down. Place the right knee down, point the toes. Tent the fingers or come onto fists if that's more comfortable. Chest forward. Press down the top of the back foot. Reach your inner right thigh towards the back of your mat so you feel your hip line kind of swivel and your pinky toe of the right foot, the back foot, hit the floor. Tighten your right butt muscles a little and your abs a little and give your spine plenty of space by moving your chest forward. You got this. 3. Soft jaw, you got this. Keep breathing. 2. Last one. Did I mention you got this? Figure 3rd time's a charm. Half splits. Shift your hips back so your right thigh is vertical. Use your right hand and help your left leg forward, probably a bend in the knee. Long spine, chest up and forward. If you get your arms straight up and down, it allows you to keep your chest tall, which is good. Turn your inner left thigh to the floor a little, so the knee wants to point up. And hug the inner left thigh bone into the back of your hip socket. As your inner left thigh moves gently back into the hip, like you're massaging the thigh bone into the hip socket itself, lengthen your left ribs forward to a comfortable degree. 3. 2. One more cycle. Twisted lunge, tuck the back foot, lift your right knee, bend into the left knee, might slide the left foot wider. Plant your right hand flat, left hand on your left thigh. Push with both hands to lift and turn your chest. Engage the big toe side of the ball of the back foot. Press back through the heel even as you bend into the front knee. So you have a counter pressure. Bend the front leg, push the right heel back. Then engage your right thigh and glute muscles while keeping the inner right thigh light up towards the ceiling. 3. 2, big breath. Fingers to the floor, exhale. Let's step back, downward facing dog. And pedal it out. Bend the legs side to side, shake out your hips. Some of us do best when our pointer fingers point straight forward, myself and about 1 in 5 others. It helps to turn your fingers out just a little, middle fingers towards the corners of the mat. With your right foot between the big toe and second toe, grab onto the back of your left heel. So you're using the split between your toes to grab onto the back of your left heel. Then you might keep the left knee bent a little, encourage the heel comfortably towards the floor, it doesn't need to touch it, and just start to swivel your butt a little bit side to side.
Change, please. Use the split between the big and second toe on your left foot to grab the back of your right heel under the ankle bone, just in that area. You can kind of fiddle with how high or low, but you're below the ankle bones. Encourage your right heel towards the floor. It does not need to get there. You might bend the knee to encourage it in that direction. And a little bit of wiggling side to side. Both feet to the floor. With control, right leg, inhale, reach it back more than up. Reach the inner right thigh towards the inner right ankle, and ever so slightly turn the inner right thigh up. Push out through the heel, big breath. It's going to be like a lunge box. Step the right foot forward. Place the left knee forward and down right below the hip socket. So your right shin is vertical, your left thigh is vertical. Climb both hands up your right leg. You've created a square shape. Squeeze your heel and your knee towards each other. Hug your groin muscles towards each other. Tighten the bottom of your left butt muscles and lift up your abs. And reach your inner left thigh a little bit towards the back wall. So you use the back leg like the rudder on a ship, and it helps turn your hips to a centered place. 3. 2. Big breath. Plant your hands on the floor, exhale. Balancing table, reach the right leg back, your front leg back. You're on 2 hands and your left knee. Press your hands through the floor so your outer armpit muscles turn on. Imagine your hands are squeezing at each other so your chest muscles turn on. Turn your inner right thigh up to the ceiling a little and reach back through the heel. You can stay here, especially if your hamstrings are susceptible to cramping, or left hand grabs right foot, opposite hand, opposite foot. Turn your inner right thigh up. Pin your outer left butt muscles in. Lean forward and kick back. It is your chest that turns, not the hips. You want to imagine you're balancing a water bottle or, I don't know, maybe a beer on your butt. 5, 4, 3, 2. Reach out your limbs. Inhale. Tabletop. Exhale. Down dog, tuck your toes, lift your hips. Left leg, inhale, reach it back more than up. Drive through the inner edge of the heel and turn the inner left thigh to the ceiling a little. Tighten your lower abs. Big breath. Knee box, step your left foot forward, place the right knee down, your left shin creates a straight up and down line, your right thigh is vertical, we've created a square. Climb up your left thigh. Push down the top of the back foot, squeeze your legs at each other from front to back, and from left to right, draw your leg strength in. Reach the inner right thigh back a little, engage the bottom of your right butt muscles, and zip up your lower abs. So can we use the extension quality of your glutes, the ability to lengthen the tail down, your ability to reach your leg back, without tapping into the rotational quality of the glutes that make your inner thigh want to turn out? So we need to be active about your inner right thigh reaching back as we engage the glutes to counter the outward rotation that the glutes want to put on your leg. Big breath. Balancing table. Plant the hands, left leg stretches back, press through the inner edge of the heel, tighten your outer right butt muscles in. You can stay here, or right hand grabs left foot, outer right hip in, inner left thigh up. So your hips stay pretty level. Inhale, lean forward, kick back, tighten your left triceps, and lift off the left shoulder. 5,
4. Smile if you're having fun. 3, 2. Reach out your limbs, breathe in. Tabletop, exhale. Down dog, tuck your toes, lift your hips. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your legs. Exhale, step both feet forward, feet together. Halfway lift, inhale. Hands on hips, exhale. Rise, inhale. And turn and face the long edge of your mat. Take a wide step out. Make sure your feet are parallel and your heels are in the same line. Elbows back, big breath. Forward fold, exhale. Yogi toe lock, glue your pointer and middle fingers together side by side and slide those two fingers between the big and second toe. Hook the big toe. Your thumbs, they point forward. Bent knees could be your friend. Imagine you're pulling your heels away from each other and widening the furthest back of your groin muscles. Pull with your hands and reach your heart away from your belt buckle. So your chest is thinking forward more than down. And press the bottom back edges of your shoulder blades or the bottom edges of your shoulder blades into your back. So your mid-spine stays long and your chest stays wide. 3. 2. Halfway lift, inhale. Fingers to the floor, exhale. Walk your hands towards the right side of the mat, the long edge of the short edge of the mat. Turn all 10 toes. Bend the right knee as though you're getting ready for another lunge. Right or left hand on the floor, right hand on your right thigh. Be extra careful of any outer ankle or legit knee injuries. So if you're hurt, just wait here. If you feel good, turn all 10 toes towards the right side of your mat, the long edge of the mat. Notice that back leg. Press your left heel back and your outer arches down. So you're trying to get your toes to stack. Tighten your left thigh muscles and roll your left hip underneath your right hip. Spin that left thigh inwards. 5, 4. Having fun yet? 3, 2. Carefully, hands to the floor. Turn all 10 toes towards the short edge of the mat. Walk your hands to the left. Turn your feet. We're just changing sides. Walk your hands to the left. Keep turning the feet. Bend the right knee, bend the left knee. Left hand on your thigh, right hand on the floor. Careful of knee injuries. Again, you can omit this next addition or turn all 10 toes to the left. Again, a lot of attention on that back foot. Push back through the heel. Press the outer arches towards the floor so the outer ankle has a bit of a gap off the floor. We're not letting our foot sickle or invert. And then roll that right hip under your body. 5, 4, 3, 2. Take your time, turn your toes, hands to the floor, down dog. Set your knees on the ground. Sit your hips off to one side, bring your legs out in front of you. Bend your legs so your feet are flat, hands behind your hips. Imagine you're pulling your hands apart, bring your shoulder blades close, and then slowly windshield wiper side to side with your legs. When your knees go to the right, your left hip lifts. And your knees go to the left, your right hip lifts. And your feet turn on each other like you have skis on them. Cool. So we're going to put our legs up the wall in a straddle position. Sometimes it can be helpful to put a pillow under your hips. So if you need a pillow for a little bit of support, that can feel nice. Slide your mat up against any wall that you have with some space, that has some space to the left and to the right. So we're going to want to put our legs out wide in a straddle. And to get your legs up the wall, we want to be protective of our spine and avoid doing the worm on your back. So sit next to the wall, kind of like you're on timeout. Roll onto your side fetal position. And then roll onto your back so you don't have to do that scooting on your back to get closer or further from the wall. If you need to reset, just roll off the wall and scoot your butt further back or closer. All right, so again, look at your legs. Your legs are up the wall, maybe even a little bend in the knees. When we go to open your legs out wide, your knees and toes are going to try to turn outwards. Do your best not to let them at this point. Keep your inner thighs magnetized towards the wall so your thighs don't rotate outwards, your toes don't spin out. Open your legs out wide into a straddle, only as far as you can go without straining. Again, your knees are going to try to rotate towards the floor. Instead, let your inner thighs turn comfortably towards the wall. A little bit of tenderness in the groin, a little bit of tenderness in the inner knees is semi-expected, but just be mindful that we don't overdo the range of motion. If you're into it, runners especially, ask yourself openly and honestly, are you doing the work off the pavement? Are you giving yourself time to rest by putting your legs up, elevating and compressing after your runs? Are you making good choices nutritionally that are going to help limit the swelling that you feel? Are you following through with your water and your hydration? Are you chronically dehydrated, or are you doing a good job of keeping up with that? Are you properly warming yourself up and cooling down when you go to run? If the answer is no to any of those things, I'm not doing the nutritional stuff, I'm not keeping up with my water, I'm not taking time to do active recovery or rest, I'm not taking time to warm up or cool down, that might be a contributing factor to that little thing that's been nagging you. Maybe that hurdle as far as your time, or the discomfort that you feel when you run, or maybe that little bit of an injury that you keep dealing with, or the discomfort you feel in your joints. Our body is constantly redesigning itself and rebuilding itself. Be an active participant in that redesign. Consciously renovate. You can stay here or use your hands to bring your legs closer. Bend your legs and open your knees out wide, kind of like happy baby against the wall. Now, if you're pretty tight, you might scoot further away from the wall. And again, instead of doing the worm, which might feel kind of aggravating on your neck, just roll off the wall, scoot your butt further from it, and roll back to the wall. Your knees are bent. Your knees and toes are turned out, and they want to share a similar angle, so try not to overdo it with the feet. And then with your arms, you can either rest them on your hand, your heart and your stomach, or out to the sides. You might even put your forearms in your inner knee, inner thigh area, and use just a little bit of softness in the arms and the heaviness in the arms to open up the groin a bit more. Please don't be forceful. Less pressure, more time. If you're enjoying this, I encourage you to spend more time, but to be really caring when you choose to exit, to not just slowly and quickly and abruptly pull yourself out of the shape, but to slowly and mindfully use your hands and bring the legs together. Roll onto your side, come off the wall. Press yourself up, spin around, and lie down to your back for our last little windshield wiper and our final rest. So the legs are bent, knees bent, feet flat. Gently windshield wiper like we did earlier. This time on your back, and just make sure we don't have any pressure built up around our lower back that's going to negatively influence our moments of rest. And Shavasana, our final resting pose. Slide your legs out straight, separate them until they're comfortable. Arms along your sides, palms faced up. A lot of times this shape can be a little uncomfortable for runners, so you might do a half Shavasana, which is knees bent, feet flat, knees close, feet separated. Just one time, take a long breath in. Out of your mouth. Myself and a lot of other movement enthusiasts will tell you the best exercise regimen or routine is the one that you're going to do. And the best physical activity is the one that you're going to stick with. And adherence is the key. And running can be great because you don't need much. You just throw on your shoes, jump out the door, and just go for it. But in order to do it long term, in order to continually improve on your running, and to do it safely, I think we need a little bit of supplementation in our approach. So celebrate this win. Enjoy how your body feels now. And even though this isn't necessarily getting out and running on the pavement, hopefully it will contribute to the longevity of that hobby and your enjoyment of it. I love doing this, and I feel lucky to spend time with you guys. Thank you. Namaste.